All right, everybody, welcome to another segment of the Gambling Lab brought to you by Bogey Proof. We got the full crew on here tonight to talk a little Travelers Championship and to rip through DFS lineups. Always the most important segment of every week. This is where we make money, we print money for our listeners. So, Travelers, we already talked about the course, right? We know how anybody can really win here. We've had guys from DJ to Ches Reavy to Kevin Streelman to Bubba, like wide range of winners here. So, a lot can go on at the Traveler, so DFS gets a little sketchy because, you got studs, duds, guys in the middle. I don't know where to go. The field's a little whack this week. Prev, what's your thoughts getting into this right out of the bat?
I mean, these tournaments are kind of fun because you can approach them any way you want, really. We'll talk a lot about this tonight, and I know, Fontaine, you want to touch on this tonight, but home game is a popular strategy here. There are guys I feel like, you guys might know better, but like with sponsor exemptions and stuff like that, I feel like they're playing every single year. Like, I feel like Bubba Watson hasn't missed this tournament since like we've been alive, literally. So it's one of those things where like, you have to have a guy like him, for example, guys who come every week, Keegan Bradley. Like, there's a lot of guys. You can really approach this any way you want. So I'm going after guys with a lot of course experience. It's like the shortest course on tour, one of them, I believe. It's like 6,900 yards. So I'm going with guys who I know can put it in the fairway. They'll make a ton of birdies because you don't have to be long. So Kisner, Paulie, your boy Brendan Todd, for example, guys who are a little bit shorter that put it in the fairway, and then guys who know the course, and then just leave it at that and keep it simple. You know what I mean? Just guys you think can make some birdies and load it up.
You definitely need to have a guy that's going to make a ton of birdies, right? I'm going a little bit different, though. I'm going with the guys who are hot streaks, may not necessarily know the course as best, but I see Vincent Whaley at 6,400. We'll start there.
Not about Vincent.
Is it 6,400? We're going to be there. Let's go.
This is why we do this, boys. This is why we do this.
Quick question. We have a t-shirt shop guy. We need a shirt of Vincent Whaley. We would be on TV. He would win.
I'm buying everyone shirts if he comes in the top 10 this week, okay?
All right, Mark that down. You got the shirts.
Custom Vincent Whaley shirts.
I forgot to mention this.
Wait. Look at this. Vincent Whaley. I go to put him in. It's a picture of Matt Wolf.
I don't have a picture.
No, I got no
picture.
Have a
picture.
What? Maybe my phone's just glitching, but this is Matt Wolf.
What do you have, T-Mobile?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But go ahead. What do you want?
6,400. You got to have him. By the way, I forgot to mention this guy's name, but Guido Migliosi was my surprise guy from this past week. I am running him back until he absolutely just fails. But I'm just the type of guys that I'm going to run with. Guys that are going to be like, who's doing well, and we'll see how it goes. But then I threw in a guy who's done well, Jason Day. I mean, think about the guys that have been up there at the top. Jason Day has not played well, but hey, sometimes it takes a course that you know.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing this week, right, is like as much as you go on like kind of the guys that have played here a million times, you can also get by doing that, I guess, you can get a lot of value, right? You can get a guy like Ches Reavy who's won here before, $7,000 this week, right? Like if you find a couple guys like that, all of a sudden you can stack top half of that, of your salary on DFS, whatever you need to do. But I think there's a lot of hidden value by doing that because you just get guys that, they're not studs, they're not stalwarts on the PGA Tour that are racking up top tens and, winning big events, but they play well here, right? And that's all that matters this week right now, right? So it's like stuff like that I think you gotta keep an eye out for as you kind of make a lineup this week. A lot of value. Like, again, Ches Reavy I'm going to harp on just because he's $7,000. Like, that's pretty cheap for a winner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, not the best form. He doesn't make a million cuts on the tour, but he hits it so short. Half the courses he plays, I mean, he's got no shot. So, but a place like this, it's like you said. I think the back nine tipped out is like 3,400 yards. There's only one par five, par four short. Both par threes are short. Like, it's literally the shortest course I think on the PGA Tour. If not, that back nine is the shortest 9-hole stretch on the PGA Tour. So it's all about fairways. It's all about approach shots this week, right? Like, nothing to hit the fairway, but if you don't have your irons and wedges dialed in, like, the greens are tough. I mean, they're fast. They got some slope to them, whatever. So, like, if you're not hitting them, in your 10, 15-foot circles on the right side of pins, etc., doesn't matter, if you're in the fairway or not. So that's another thing to keep an eye on is like look at stroke gain approach, right? Like something like that, or strokes gained around the green, stuff like that. Like this, not exactly or driving accuracy, I guess too. But like I think the strokes gained approach is probably your biggest stat this week, given that even if they miss a fairway, there's not trouble off the tee. It's just rough, which makes you kind of play away from pins or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you're a good iron player, a good wedge player, half of the holes, if you're not in the fairway, unless you're like behind trees or something like that, you can still finagle and get something up and around there. So at the end of the day this week, I mean, most do, but it's going to come down to approach shots and kind of converting. Everybody's going to have opportunities this week. It's about who's the best from 8 to 15 feet, right? Something around that range.
Yeah, they're going to make a lot of putts.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and the fairways are wide too. And like if you've been to, like we touched on last week too, or last episode about the kind of the course preview. I mean, if you want to watch these guys, you want to watch an absolute clinic of like 3-woods and driving irons like off the tee. Like that's all this course is pretty much. There are a couple of drivers here and there and whatever, but these guys are peppering 3-woods. I know Rory especially peppers 3-wood at this course all the time, and like. So it's, there are going to be a lot of fairways to be found, and, look for guys. I think it's Poana again, right? On the greens.
No, not out here.
Or is it bent? It's bent, right?
Yeah.
I think it's bent. Yeah. Okay. So it's pretty standard stuff. Nothing going to be too difficult out there. And the weather's going to be beautiful, right, TJ? So,
yeah,
all those things put together, a guy like a Brendan Todd or a Kevin Kisner, just for example, has plenty of length out here. So that's not going to be a problem where, Fontaine, you touched on it. Like, I feel like, 75% of the courses, if you're not long now, you're in trouble, especially in these bigger tournaments. So this is not one of those. So you got to take advantage of some guys who are a little bit shorter hitters, a little bit more value on that side. There's a ton of, so I think studs and duds is kind of the only way this week.
Yeah, weather is, you got to check weather again because literally weather changes like every 2 minutes here. The only difference is that there's a chance of rain each day now, like 10 to 20%. So it could be humid. It looks like humidity is going to be the big factor, and it might be later in the day, which around like you get that 3 to 6 p.m. where that gap of like thunderstorms might happen. So you may not get in the morning, but it could be later on in the day. I don't know how that will impact Thursday, Friday. Thursday looks fine. Friday looks like might be that start of it. But
I'm thinking about last year, Tej. I don't know if you remember this, but when DJ won in the 4th round, wasn't it raining a little bit last year as well? So I feel like honestly, could that make it play easier? I mean, if it starts to soften up now too, like a lot of these guys, one thing, are going to be hitting flip wedges all week. So if it's flip wedges with soft greens, it's going to be like, this is going to be a clinic.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, think about a hole like 15, right? 300 yards, 290 yards, whatever it is.
Come on.
Sharp par 4. You make that soft as shit. These guys are green light city. They're going to just hit it because they know wherever it lands, it just kind of half plugs, whatever you want to call it. Where you make that firm and fast, now they got to think about how it's going to bounce. And if it bounces left, it goes in that water over there. So it's like you make that hole soft, it makes it an almost automatic birdie hole. Like it just makes them be so much more aggressive off the tee because they don't have to think about rollouts, whatever else. So it's like, to your point, you might get a pop-up shower here and there just due to how hot and humid it gets in New England. And, the weather kind of looks like it's going to be consistent with that idea this week. Like you get some rain here and there, like all it's going to do is make scores go lower. It's not like it's going to be crazy windy and rainy, anything like that. So
no,
stuff like that. I mean,
it's a quick blast and then it stops.
Exactly. It just makes it, scoring condition city. So, that being said, though, let's start getting through some lineups here. Let's start poking around and see what we're all up to.
TJ, got a fade for us this week on the Travelers?
Yeah, give us your big fade, guy.
Give me a second on that. Let me take a minute here and look at that.
Fade's kind of tough, honestly. But I mean, guys I like right off the bat. I mean, I'm definitely going to have, TJ, I believe you said a couple of weeks ago with Rom, or obviously with US Open with Rom, like, don't be afraid of Rom and 11,200. And, with that studs and duds format, like, get Dustin Johnson exposure, like on the way up a little bit, starting to play a little bit better. has been at this course now for the last couple of years and won last year, so obviously very comfortable. He made this course literally look like a joke. So definitely get some exposure to him. I'm ready to watch him hit some missiles out there this year. It's going to be. I think actually Barstool too put up I think Brooks, DJ, and Cantley to all make the cut plus 120. Like I wanted to like DM them and be like, yeah, 10 grand on that, please. Because, like that sounds good to me. Right there. So DJ, yeah, it's gonna be. Who else you like?
Brooks, stuff like that. The only thing you gotta keep an eye on is how much they're gonna care this week.
Yeah, right.
DJ, I think he's going to care because he's starting to build momentum, open championships around the corner, and like. But
as a past winner, though, he will.
But for him, he didn't. It's not like he should have won last week. Like it's not like he had a chance and blew it. And now he's like, all right, fuck it, I need to go regroup. But he played like halfway decent. Finally, I think he got top 15, maybe top 20, whatever it was. First time he was relevant in a few weeks now. Where it's like, all right, he might be like, all right, let's build on that now. Like, let's see what we got here. And like you said, he won here last year. He might just be like, all right, let's go get the offense going this week. And then all of a sudden, come Saturday, he finds himself in the top 10 going into the weekend. He's like, all right, fuck it, let's just go get it done.
We're going to have an impact. The fans, too, are going to have an impact. I think, for sure. It's all about, I know one of Paulie's favorite bets on the show is your first round leader. And like, if these guys teach you're harping on them not caring, and there is that factor, it does play. If they start like shit, you're going to see guys withdraw. Like if they, if somebody just sucks right off the bat, like they'll just leave. They don't even care. So you got to hope all you're looking for is a made cut. And then Saturday, Sunday, they're like, okay, now I feel like I need to play and win some money. And then they go off on Saturday. Like I know it's I think Furyk's 58 or whatever was on a Friday or Saturday. I think it was a Saturday. So I feel like the scores are notoriously lower on Saturdays here as well. Once the guy's like, okay, I made the cut. Now I can win some money. Now let's do it.
Now let's get it. Exactly.
Because that's the thing you touched on last episode, Fontaine. Like, okay, you bet first round score, leader's going to be 63, right? So like, if you shoot 71, you're already way off the lead. You know what I mean? So you're way off the lead. So it's like, okay, then it's cruise control, and then it's a miscut. And then because the cut line will be 400 or 500 or whatever it normally is. Like, there are going to be a ton of guys weighing their par.
It'll be 200-300 for sure. It'll be something around there. But let's get into, I think we already kind of touched on a couple sleepers that we like. So let's just get right into like going through a couple lineups here and dissecting those. Paul, you want to get us first? What are you cooking up over there? See the monitors flashing on your face.
In the back.
Prev mentioned first round leaders, didn't check them out, so I had to go peruse a little bit, do some shopping. So I got my lineup right now. It's got to be a collection of some of the most boring golfers besides four of the most boring golfers there are. So I guess, as you guys said, my guy Brendan Todd, of course. I guess kind of a hometown guy, not really from the area. Whatever, he's going to get a lot of pull from local fans.
Where the hell is he from?
Keegan Bradley. Yeah. Then I don't know. This guy's actually been playing well recently, but he's boring as hell. Brian Harmon.
Yep. Great traveler's pick. Please, I love him so much. He's another one of my guys.
Damn it, I didn't see.
Just an accuracy machine. Abe Answer. I don't think he's ever missed an iron shot.
Honest Abe this week. I feel like fuck you tour for him. Be like, I want to get a fucking win, so I can be like taken seriously. Like he could do something.
And then I guess the only real firecracker of my group is Patty Reed, which I just think his wedges, like, it's hit or miss, but when they're on, it's unbelievable. Really he lights out from like 150 in. So, and his putter, if he gets it rolling, he's one that he can rattle off 7-8 birdies around like for 4 days. Easily.
And he'll mix in an eagle or two for sure.
Sure, he might mix in a double. He might, toss one OB or something like that. But then he makes up for it with like 7 straight birdies. So it's like, okay,
make the driver basically irrelevant, and Pat Reed can win any golf tournament.
Yeah, and he's a good one to rack up those 3 birdie streaks or whatever. Get those little bonus
bonus
points.
points,
By the
Yeah.
way, 3 birdie streaks.
true.
Trev, I think I got a guy for you. Wait, first, Paulie, did you finish? Is that the last guy?
And then of course I gotta keep riding my guy Vincent because why the hell not? Why the hell not?
Why the hell not? I mean, I got him, so we'll knock
That
him off.
price is low.
Prev, you're gonna like this guy, Joaquim. I love Joaquim Neiman this week.
Yeah.
Put birdies in a row.
I feel like
Yeah.
him and Abe Answer are like the same golfer. They're
Yeah.
just, like identical.
Both good
Yeah.
picks.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I've seen Joaquim out in Detroit. He really impressed me out there. Him and Rory Sabatini were in the same group, and they both finished like 19 under. Yeah, it was gross to see Rory. So maybe that's why I like Joaquim better, because his swing looked like Rory swing like ass. Sabatini does.
He's a douche.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
looked like one. But
Where's
anyway,
fucking neon golf ball. Fuck out of here.
yeah, and then also kind of threw me off too.
Like, act like you know what you're doing one time. Like,
I thought my mom was playing. So, next one, Paul. I think you're gonna like this one. Scotty Scheffler played
Okay.
relatively well. 9,000 and 9,600 there back to back, and then 9,900. This guy is boring as all hell, but I am gonna ride Paul Casey this week as my dark horse. I hate Paul Casey. He's my guy that I always tell myself, like, don't play him. He's gonna burn you.
He's
And I
either-
play him and he burns me. I know enough to play him. This is a week that I really feel him Paul Casey, especially Open's coming up.
he's either first round leader or he fucking sucks. And like he's gonna be 6 under after day one, or
Right. If someone's going to shoot 63, it's going to be Paul Casey. But if someone's going to shoot 74, it's going to be Paul Casey.
Yeah.
So
I'm prepared. I'm prepared for the swinging pendulum this week, because my next pick is Jason Day. So if I'm going to put him in my lineup, I'm really swinging. But
same scale.
7,500. I mean, his ceiling is way higher than 7,500. He's like a 87, 8800 top guy.
3 months. Bro.
His ceiling was high like 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
He took enough time off, right? Wait, no, he played last week. He needs to get in the groove. Plus, he's played well here. Get back to it. Hits the ball high, lands soft. I mean, obviously, a lot of these guys are going to make these shots pretty close. But if he brings it high, lands it soft, like he's notoriously done, he's been at the top. So I'll give him that. He's kind of like he's not Keegan close, but he's a guy who plays here consistently. He's done well. And then Guido. I might have to buy some chest hair and wear my chains out all week and call myself a Guido so I can root for this guy.
Let's
But
go, baby.
I rock
that's
my
my lineup.
Travelers on Saturday and just wear my white beater and my chains.
Yeah,
Let the chest hair rage and just follow Guido all day.
have an Italian flag as a cape and just sprint around the
I
course.
got the Italian horn going.
The
Yeah.
horn, baby. I love it.
Be on.
I love
Oh,
it.
yeah, there we go.
I just walk around with Guido all day.
Guido.
I
That'd
mean,
be epic.
I'm on TV if I do that.
All I'm saying is,
You gotta
if
make
we get to Sunday and I see my guys all make the cut, you know I'm going absolutely bonkers. So I'm
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be lit on Sunday. There's no doubt about that.
still trying to get there, but hopefully we can see that happen. Hopefully.
Is that your full lineup, T?
That is a whole one.
I love
ahead.
Paul Casey this week. I think
Yeah.
I just think it's so him to just come up and win this tournament that nobody really cares about. You know, like we have a lot of fun at it, but like in the aspect of the PGA Tour schedule, like nobody circles the Travelers except for us because we get to go to it, right? And like
Right.
good, but like it's like these guys are all just, you know, they're playing in it and whatever. Where like, you know, he could very well just sneak up and win this and, you know, fire up the world rankings and then just like, you know, make a headache for a lot of
Bubba circles it too, I think, but he's
Yeah, Bubba's, he's won what 3 times here?
career alive.
Yeah.
He wins here. He's won here fucking 4 times.
Hey, Phil keeps coming back here. He kind of likes this too. I mean, the Connecticut fans are electric. So I mean, sucks Jordan's not coming, but that he was often talking about Connecticut. Prev had mentioned like he was thinking about buying a house here because it was that electric. The atmosphere is great. So I think some of these guys do like coming back here. But I mean, Jordan's gone. He did his time here. Now he's probably fulfilled his contract.
I bet next year though the field picks up again because it's in Boston, right? So it's
right. That'll help.
That's huge.
For next year, I bet you get Rory, you get JT, right? He didn't play this week. Jordan. I bet you get a handful more guys of that caliber.
Which would be huge.
Ooh.
Yeah, which
JT has played, obviously.
Because we've talked about this, I think, in previous episodes or different segments, whatever it might be. But like there's certain requirements they have as members of the PGA Tour that they have to play a certain amount of time, certain amount of tournaments, certain sponsor types or certain like invitationals, non-invitationals, whatever it may be. So when you make it as convenient as going from Boston to Connecticut, a ton of guys are just going to use it to be like, hey, I played in a non-invitational, like leave me alone, right? Like, so next year's field, I bet you will kick up a little bit. That's why it was so good the last 5 years. Because if you look at the venues, right, like Erin Hills, Wisconsin, that's not that far away, and then you got Shinnecock, right? So like for Pennsylvania, wherever the hell it is, but like East Coast stuff, right? So like that's why the field got so strong the last 5 years, and even Pinehurst too, quick drive, right? And I know that one's back in the rotation for 2023 or 4. So keep an eye on the Travelers Field. I think it's only going to get stronger as it goes. It's going to go ebbs and flows with the U.S. Open, but I think this is about as bad as it gets, being all the way on Torrey. So it's going to go, and it's still strong. I mean, we got Brooks, Bryson,
Yeah, it's good, DJ
in there. So and DJ, right? So big in there still, but I think next year I would circle the calendar and try and finagle a way to get tickets to this and try and get here for next year's, because
I mean it's such a fun honestly it's such a fun tournament to gamble on too. I mean, I'm looking at my plays and I'm looking at a guy like we talked about, Paul Casey. So he's a guy that's either going to do it up or he's going to be terrible, and I know Harris English is going to be the exact same person, so I paired them together. Harris English coming off that third place at the US Open, but my lineups are pretty similar to Paulie's. I paired Patty Reed and DJ, and put him with Vincent and Ches, Keegan Bradley, and TJ. Who are they disrespecting again at 7,300?
Oh, don't say it.
Come on, man. He's in 5 out of 6 in my lineups. I don't know what it is. Emiliano is like, come on. He's good. Trust me.
Emiliano might be a top 10 lock this week.
Emiliano is good at golf, okay? Believe me, please. I'm telling you. Him and Doc Redmond. Doc Redmond's my sleeper this week. Doc, the doctor, and Emiliano are my 2 guys this week. And I like your boy, TJ. You mentioned him before, but your boy Taylor Gooch. I actually like him this week, too. Yeah. I know I don't like him at all. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, we could list off plays all night because no one's a bad play. You might as well put up a dartboard of everyone's name and go, that's how you make a team. Like, just throw it and be like, oh, look at that. Troy Merritt, I have a team with him. Sure. He's right here. Troy Merritt. Like,
if like you could somehow find a way to get like a 3 words, how much do you care this week? Insert player name. That's how you'd be able to pick the right lineup this week and be like, oh, this guy's like ready to go. He's here to win, whatever. Want him in my lineup. Because like we've said a million times, course is not hard. They're going to shoot super low scores. So you get a guy that's going to care enough to grind out his 9 holes where he hits it kind of shitty and still keep it at even par or better in that 9 holes. Because that's pretty much how every tournament goes, unless you're Tiger Woods back in early 2000s, is you have a 9-hole stretch where it's a little sketchy and you got to keep it on the tracks. If you get a guy that cares, they'll do that, and then ride the wave of the good swings and make a million birdies. So on my lineup, though, I think we as a group here have a lot of overlap and kind of makes sense given we know the course. It's it breeds certain players, but I got Paul Casey. That's kind of my horse actually. Looking at my lineup, he's my
mine too. That's why I'm like,
I got Paul Casey. I think I'm probably gonna sprinkle a little first round leader on him too, just to really hammer him this week. Next guy, I don't know how I feel about him, but I'm going off recent trends. I'm going Ricky Fowler. Like he didn't get a start for the PGA, but everything around him much better. Like getting some credibility, halfway decent starts, back in the top 20, top 10. I know Paul.
And he's going to care this week. He's going to care. He needs to care.
He needs a win to get back to Augusta if he wants to go. So what about this? So, and like in the way he plays too, like he doesn't have to try so hard with the driver, tone it down, hit fairways, let his putter do the work for him. So I mean, it's a little bit of a flyer on him. I don't like love it, but if any week he's going to pop off, I think this is the place for him to do it. I got Harmon too. I think he's just an automatic top 20 at this place. Like,
oh my god,
yeah.
I watched him play so many holes at the Travelers. Brian Harmon,
And then I got Charlie Hoffman, very similar style, opposite side of the golf ball.
read my mind.
Just fucking. He's been on a heater too. I think since he missed the Masters last year, he almost beat Jordan out at Valero, and he's kind of been just trying to get that win again. And like, I think he came in looking at his game log here, right? Third at the Charles Schwab, 17th, 18th, 18th, second, 17th, 10th, 7th. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got a couple of 53rds in there, but like, but I mean, for a guy who's $7,000, or no, sorry, it's $8,500. But either way, I'm riding Charlie Hoffman. The course fits him. He'll play well. Bubba has won too many times here. He played one of his better U.S. Open appearances ever last week, so he must have a halfway decent feel of his golf game right now. And for him, he just loves this place because he forces driver everywhere where most guys just hit the 3-wood. And then he's chipping on every hole because he just bends it around the condos and the corners and whatever else. So I'm going to ride with Bubba just because if he wins, I'll be pissed I didn't, have some kind of exposure on it. And then hammering Vincent Whaley. It just you gotta go with him until he burns it, right? I mean,
he's too cheap, man. And like, this is a course where it doesn't matter. Like, you're a pro golfer with the name on your bag. Like, I'll put you in the lineup. Like, honestly, like, you'd probably be like 3,000, right? That's pretty, maybe less. 2,000, like, I'd take you. But I'm ready for a good weekend, and I think you guys, like, anyone who's listening, make sure, like, hit us up if you're going. You know what I mean? Like, let's get together, let's have some drinks, and let's have a great ass time. I know TJ and I will be doing so on Sunday, so it's gonna be some fun. And regardless who plays this week, I mean, just pick somebody, just make a team and watch the fucking thing. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be plenty of birdies and a good cool down.
Absolutely, and I'll be there Saturday. So again, just get after us on Instagram, and we'll find you. Have a quick beer, talk a little shops, check on each other's lineups, and then see where we're at and see who we got to go follow on the weekend. But this is, again, it may not be the biggest PGA Tour event of the year, but personally, being a local, it's one of my favorites of the year. Again, to go and see the best in the world kind of tee it up and whack it around at a course that I'm familiar with, I've played before, and just see how good they are. It's talk all you want about how short the course is, how easy it is. It's not easy for the pedestrian golfer. It's just easy because of how good these guys are, and they're going to tear it up and shoot 500 3-4 days in a row, and it'll be fun to watch no matter what. I'm sure of that, and it's a good course to produce some drama coming down that those last 3-4 holes with short drivable par 4, water in play on 3 of the 4 holes, and solid finishing par 4 and 18. But
don't forget about hole number 13, that par 5 with the water on the right, and then you go over the water on the left.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool hole. That's kind of like where it starts. If you got a good final pairing that's close at the end, you got to go through that. It's pretty entertaining to watch,
absolutely. Especially on TV. It's a as quote unquote easy as it is and scoreable. It makes these guys kind of go for it, and like, I don't care how easy it is. If I got 2 guys going at it and it's birdie, eagle, birdie, 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 par, that I don't care if it's like that or if it's par, 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 bogey, par, birdie.
There's no conservatism though. That's why it's my favorite of the year, because these guys are testing themselves. They're testing themselves, and when it's not like a normal guy like, oh, I'm going to try to hit this green from 270. It's like, I can hit this green from 270. Like, let's go. It's a lot of fun.
Green Light City. Privacy, you like to say it's one approach this week.
One approach.
Yeah, shapes this week, Paul. The shapes.
Yeah,
circles and squares, baby.
Circles and squares, and a lot of them.
I got 2 winners in a first round leader here. It's just complete, enter them in, pray. Homa and Kevin Na, 75-1, both of them.
Okay, I don't hate either one of
those. And then first round leader, just continuing my theme of real boring golf. Brandt Snedeker, 65-1.
Ooh.
So a lot of experience.
Honestly, my favorite of those is Kevin Na. Kevin Na could fuck around and win this week, 100%.
Yeah, like, again, I feel like he's the same. Like, the wedges and putter, like, he can be lights out, and that's what you need here. I feel like, and that's
Absolutely.
One
Fun
storyline I have for you guys. One storyline. Watch out for where is he?
I love a
Nick
good story.
Nick Watney. He is 1 for 17 on cuts this entire season. That is so bad. I am not telling you to pick him in your lineup, but when does he get his next cut? That's what I'm looking for this week. I don't know. If this is the week, but
I'm going to be so in his head.
I mean,
1 for 17. Just give it up, buddy.
If he misses the cut, does like Jay Monahan walk over to him like, "Hey, turn over your torque guard. Like, you get out. Like, get out. Here's the Corn Ferry one. Like, just get out."
Yeah, we're begging you, please make the cut. Please.
Oh my god, that's funny.
And it's
Should
sad
we
that
do
I go further back to see what cut he actually missed. He hasn't made a cut the entire 2021 year. So
Should we do a top 10 lock and wrap her up for the kids, or what do we think?
Real quick before we get a lock, fun fact: I met Kevin on the Atlanta airport. I was going down to Augusta to watch practice round, and I was on like the little monorail or whatever from like where you land, luggage and baggage claim and all that shit. And I was in the same little tram car as him, and he was like with his wife, his kids, his agent, everything. He had a $45,000 watch on his wrist, and he was eating Wendy's. I was like, "What's up, Kevin?" He's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" I was like, "Holy shit, you actually answered that!" I was guessing. I was like, "Dude, no, I was like, that's got to be him." I was like, nobody else would just be having a $50,000 watch on their wrist in the middle of the airport this Saturday or Friday of Augusta week. Like, it's got to be him. Like, it looks so much like him, but like, I would never I don't know. I don't have the personality to be like, "Hey, like Kevin, now what's going on, man?" So just like, "Hey, Kev, what's up?" Like, just kind of like from the side, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like, I looked over, I was like, "Holy shit, what's up, man?" Like, it actually was crazy.
you said Kev, not Kevin. So
I feel like that's the beauty of like professional golf. Like, I know it is like an awfully lonely game because you're doing so much by yourself, and it is an individual game, so it's lonely in its own right, but all the traveling and all that stuff. But I feel like the players, you could go anywhere and just not be noticed, unless you're like in the top like 10 in the world, top 20 in the world, then you'll be noticed. But like, they're normal people, like they're just guys. Where like basketball players, like they're all to be a point guard, what's like the average height, like 6'3". Like, so you stand out, you stand out being a point guard in the NBA. Like,
being a through off, like we're in the monorail and like nobody's talking to him, so like it can't be him. Like somebody be talking to him, right? Like, but like you said, like they just they're just guys.
If you saw Brian Harmon walking on the street, you'd be like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
Yeah.
But then you put him on a golf course, you're like, "Holy hell!"
Oh, it's Brian Harmon. Look at it.
Oh,
can't
shit.
wait to watch Brian Harmon this week. He's so
I
small.
can't wait. He's a stud. I love him. Paul, you got a lock top 10? TJ top 10? You got something? Give me something good.
I gotta check the sheet here quick.
Lock top 10.
I mean, I absolutely like.
No. Yeah, I got a lock for top 20. It's a little bit of a stretch. I like Harry Varner.
Okay.
I don't mind that. No,
I
I don't mind that at all. My top 10 lock, I mean, you could probably get some good value on either Scotty Scheffler or Patty Reed top 10. I'm fine with either one. Probably would prefer Patty Reed, but he definitely has some experience here. Like Paul said, I mean, he's lights out. So I'm thinking Patty Reed top 10 is my lock of the week.
You know what? It might be a flyer, but I'll go Matt Wolff top 5.
I love that.
Yeah,
I like him top 5 there.
I mean, he made 8 birdies in round 1 at a U.S. Open. If he brings
Shot
half
like
off at BC River Highlands, he's going to make 8 birdies a day. So
yeah,
I think that's a good pick. I love that. I think I'm going to go top 10. Ooh, I'm going to go top 10 with – I'm going to kind of double down on my lineup already, but I'm going to go top 10 Bubba. I think he's automatic going to be in the mix. And if he's not in the mix, he'll shoot 31 on the back on Sunday and backdoor that shit.
I agree with you. That's how he won his last time. He like backdoored it and shot a 63 or something, 62.
Yeah, he tends to do that.
Yeah. What a dick.
I did put Brooks and Bryson on the same team this week. Wanted to mix it up. I don't know why I'm doing it though. Do I
I
love
like it.
Brooks?
I like it. I really want it. That's probably why I like it. I don't hate Brooks. I hate Bryson though. I saw Bryson was all over last year. Will he make the cut? Yeah, but by
But
then
I kind of like Bryson because he's a hardo and he wants to win everything. Like I feel like he still feels like he has something to prove. Like he still wants to prove shit to people. So I still feel like he's kind of a hardo. So I don't know. I want a little bit.
Yeah, he's good enough where he just can play bad and still
He's
make.
gonna be hitting sand wedges all week. I mean a choke. So I mean, if he's rolling it,
Joaquin's gonna be
an
close.
eagle every par 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a par 4 for him.
He might not carry a driver.
No,
he will.
because he'll try and drop everything. It over the top.
He doesn't need to.
Think about right. Like I know you guys have been there. Think about 9th hole. It's like 400 on the card, but if you go direct line over the condos, it's only like 360, 370.
Going for it.
I'll say I bet you the pedestrians are in danger when he's on that 9th.
Yeah.
What's the shortest par 5?
What?
What's the shortest par 5 here?
5 to 13. The one
13.
TJ.
Yeah, it's more about accuracy on that one.
It's water everywhere, but it's only 520.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to water's on the right, so you got to make sure you hit the center of the fairway. Any fade for righty's gone. Fill hook, it's gone. And then your second shot, you really just I don't see a ton of people putting it short into that pond. It's usually they hit it long and
and it runs off the back. But like you see eagles there the whole week. Like it's such a short hole. Like when I played it, I got there and too. Like I'm not a PGA Tour player, so it's very reachable. It's just obviously they'll play different tees than I did, but like for those guys, they'll all have a chance to go for it as long as they hit the fairway. So Bryson wants to wedge in if he wants to hit the fairway that hole. He can drive the next hole too. 14 downhill par 4. It's like 400 yards, but it's like the last 110 of it straight down the hill. We'll probably drive that too, or be close to it.
What do you like, Teach? Did you do one yet?
Yeah, I did the top 20. But if I had to pick another one, Brooks top 10. I like Brooks.
Nice.
We'll know after 6 holes if he's playing or not this week.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
We'll find out quick.
Hit us up if you're going, and you'll hear me on TV, and that's all I got for you. That's it.
Absolutely. Cheers, boys. It's a good time.
Cheers.
Let's have a fun Travelers Week. We'll all be on the ground again. Get at us on Instagram, social media, Twitter, whatever you got. And
subscribe.
Meet up and grab a beer.
Yep. Pour 19th hole.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, boys.
Later.